Senator from Minnesota.
Madam President, today a new senator from Minnesota is being sworn in. It is my honor today, along with former Vice President Mondale, to escort Al Franken as the new senator from our state. I think it was Al that told me that the third year of his campaign would be the best, and he was right. I did want to thank my staff, first of all. Many of them are here, for the hard work that they did in the past 6 months doing double duty. They never complained. They did it without extra resources, and they are as happy as can be that this has finally been resolved. I also wanted to say something about Norm Coleman. Last week he made a very difficult decision. He had the right to pursue a legal challenge, but he did what was right for Minnesota. Norm was my Senate colleague for 2 years. We often worked together on issues for Minnesota, and we all wish him and his family the best. So despite just a little delay, to be exact, 246 days since the election day and 183 days since the Senate convened, why would I know that, Al Franken now joins me in representing the state of Minnesota. I've gotten to know Al very well over the past few years, and I know that he'll be getting acquainted with his fellow senators in the coming weeks and the coming months. This is a special place with special people, and I know Al looks forward to working with every member of the United States Senate. I also know that Al arrives in Washington ready to get to work and ready to serve the people of Minnesota. He brings with him that same high energy and passion and idealism of our friend Paul Wellstone. I was telling Al that when I first came to the Capitol, I was stunned at how many people would come up to me when I said I was a senator from Minnesota and say, that's where Paul Wellstone was from. And it wasn't just other senators. It was people like the tram operators, the secretaries at the front desks, the cops that work on the front line. They remembered Paul because of the dignity and how he treated people. And Al, I know, will do the same. Before seeking elected office, Al had a full career. Among other things, he was an Emmy Award-winning television writer and producer. He was a best-selling author with 3 of his books going to the very top of the New York Times bestseller list. He was the host of a national radio show and a Grammy Award-winning satirist who, with the USO, he has gone overseas several times, 7 times in fact, 4 times to Iraq to entertain our troops and to visit our wounded soldiers. We all know Al spent some time in comedy, but during this long campaign, he has demonstrated to Minnesotans that he takes his job very seriously, and I know that he is taking his new job as senator incredibly seriously. Al's heart is with middle-class families who work hard, live responsibly, and follow the rules. He knows their hopes and fears, their dreams and their struggles. He knows it because he's lived it. When Al was 4, his family moved to the town of Albert Lea in southern Minnesota. Al always tells this story about that move. His dad never graduated from high school and never had a career, but his mom's father owned a quilting business out east, and he gave Al's dad a chance to start up a factory in Albert Lea. After about 2 years, the factory failed, and Al's family moved to the Twin Cities. Years later, Al asked his dad, "Dad, why Albert Lea?" And his dad said, "Well, your grandfather wanted to open a factory in the Midwest, and the railroad went right through Albert Lea." So then Al asked, "Why did the factory fail?" And his father said, "Well, it went through Albert Lea, but it didn't stop in Albert Lea." Eventually, the family, including Al and his older brother, settled into a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home in the Minneapolis suburb of St. Louis Park. His father became a printing salesman, and his mom was a homemaker and worked as a real estate agent. Because of the security and opportunity his family enjoyed living in America, he says he felt like the luckiest kid in the world. While Al likes to tell jokes, and he has some good ones, he's not one to make fun of family values, because there is no husband or father who is more devoted to his family than Al is. He met his wife, I see her right now up there in the gallery, Franny, during his first year at college. They've been married 33 years, and together they've raised 2 children. Al often tells a story about Franny's family. Her dad, a decorated World War II veteran, died in a car accident when she was 17 months old. The death left her mom suddenly widowed and alone with 5 children. It was a lesson for the family, and it was an example of how one family pulled themselves up with help. He knows how difficult it is for so many families who are struggling to make it, squeezed tighter over high health care costs, college costs, housing costs. During the past 2 years, Al has traveled to every corner of Minnesota, from the Iowa border to the Canadian border. He's had coffee at the Main Street cafes, and he's spoken at local bean feeds. He's toured homegrown businesses, he's stood with workers, he's been to veterans halls, and he's gone to college campuses. He's been there day in and day out, listening to the people of Minnesota. Now he has the honor and the responsibility to serve them in the United States Capitol. The United States Senate is an old and established institution. For any newcomer, it takes some getting used to the arcane rules and unique customs, but I am confident that Al can adapt. And this is a big moment for Franny and their kids as well. Al and his friends and relatives have been waiting for a while for this. The state has been waiting, the Senate's been waiting, but most importantly to me, Franny has been waiting. My favorite image of the last few months was this idea that Franny had actually packed a bag with her toothbrush in it that she had right next to her bedside in case at any moment the court would come with a decision and she and Al would have to rush to Washington so he could take a critical vote. Well, today the time has come and Al will cast his first vote. If there is any silver lining to the past 8 months, it is that Al has had time to prepare for this moment. The times are tumultuous, the stakes are high, and history will forever judge whether we fail or succeed, whether we are courageous or timid. Al Franken is ready for this job. It's time to get to work. And Al Franken, there's a desk waiting for you in the United States Senate. Thank you, Madam President, and I yield the floor.